Hello and welcome to this video. That started badly then, didn't it? How are we all doing? I hope we are all doing well. I hope everyone's having a good evening so far and getting ready for the Easter weekend. It's going to be a long weekend. It's going to be a very long weekend this weekend. It's going to be interesting just because there's a lot to get over with and get things sorted. Are we going to pick up any more points? Are we going to be stuck on the 53 points? Like, I saw the BBC put out an interesting stat. Like, it's we got like a 0% chance of relegation, but we've also got 0% chance of it as well. We're in that kind of thing where you could do either or. And it's so interesting when you see what everything's been like this season. Now, I know there's going to be some people who come in and talk about the engagement panel stuff. It's like any engagement panel we've had before. None of the stuff goes out until everything's been agreed upon. It's no different than a normal one. It's just everyone's more intrigued about this one because it got certain things they wanted to ask people. They had things they want answering, which is fair enough. I agree. Things need to be answered. Things need to get questioned. But it's still, you're going to take a while. It's Easter. Not too bad. It's been busy. But I've also had my little boy all day. So I have had the kind of run-of-the-mill of dad life, basically. Being made to run around after him. And then I had a family member turn up. I didn't completely forget they were turning up. I knew they were turning up, but I just didn't know what time, and my brain wasn't ready for it because I'd zoned out for the day. But it's not been too bad. How's yours been, Eddie? Evening, Barry. Evening, DJ. Hope you're well. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting weekend of games and stuff because we got tomorrow, which I am doing a watch along for tomorrow, and I am doing a watch along on Monday. So join up both of them. We're gonna do a watch along. See what we get out of the rest of the season. Might as well. What the hell? And I'm also going to be doing the playoff games in the championship. I think they'll be quite good to cover as well in the final. If I'm not doing it that weekend, I just can't remember when the weekend of it is. So I need to keep an eye on that. But yeah, it can be good. It can be really good weekend though. Hopefully we get a win. But you're going into this game at the weekend with so much trepidation. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Of what's going on behind the scenes, how things are going. Are we going to have stuff like I watched the Danny press conference and it felt very flat. Shall be about as I don't have my girls this weekend, so brilliant DJ, that'd be brilliant. It felt very flat as a press conference. Danny seemed flat. I don't care, Kaylee. I'm not talking about Rotherham crap tonight. Not in the slightest. Don't give a shit. Wilkes has got an option. We'll see what happens. Wilkes has got an option on his deal with us. Whatever happens, happens. I think we should take the option with him and see what happens, but it all depends on what happens with it. If we take the option, it means we got to get money for him. That's what I kind of have with it. Or he can go for free, but I don't know how he gets in. I think the championship playoff final is do my words mean nothing? Okay. I think the championship playoff final is a bank holiday Monday, end of May. If not, then it's Sunday. I'll find out actually because it'll be somewhere. Yeah, playoff dates. I've all done it. Evening, John. How you doing? Happy good Easter. Yes, you too. 3rd of May. The championship 3rd of May. My brain's dead. When's the 3rd of May? Saturday. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. That's the final day, you dumbass. Oh, God, I'm not awake. Championship final is 12th. 24th, 26th. There we go. Thank you. Got it. Sorted it. I've heard Eater Money starting for yeah, you got that. So it's the 24th of May. Oh, that's all right then. Because our last birthday is the 25th. That's fine. That's fine. I can deal with that. I can deal with that. I'll be able to do something with that. But yeah, it should be good. It's weird going into this last game of the season because we don't have anything to play for. At the minute. Hey, Kaylee. All I ask is people be respectful. That's all I ask. I'm not in the mood for it. Jay, I think you may have done this a little bit too soon. Your brain isn't when to give. Maybe you should also. It's just because it's been a very, very long day. It's been a long day. That's the main thing to it. Hey up, ding dong, how we doing? I'm not too bad, Bob. How are you, mate? But yeah, Kaylee, just be respectful, please. You normally are. There's no need for that. I'm not taking the piss out of Rotherham. And I answer Rotherham stuff when I don't even need to. So please be respectful. Not in the mood for it. But yeah, it can be interesting because we got so many little things. It's so odd for us to go into a end of the season with nothing to play for. Like, there's generally nothing to play for. Like, we could, in a push, get sucked into a relegation scrap. Like, generally could get pushed into it. But there's a 0% chance of relegation. There's a 0% chance of top 6. When that can be promoted, can be all relegated. So it's like Preston North End have got a 0.1% chance of relegation with Oxford, Stoke, Pompey, Hull on that. But it's not in double figures. Getting there, fella. Getting ready for a family dinner tomorrow. Come to realise I hate hosting. Hosting is a bitch at times. Hosting is not fun. You're going to get everything ready. You're going to make sure everything's sorted. Yeah, hosting can be some of the world's worst things doing. So good luck with that. We're a family thing on Sunday. Playoffs is fun to watch because anything is possible. Fun to watch, not fun to be in them. Us and QPR just can't leave each other alone. Last season relegated and now this season mid-table. Yep, I agree. I agree with that completely. We'll play Autobio, Kabachi, and McNeil tomorrow. Playing. Yeah, I think that's a good idea, Barry. I like to see that. I would like to see those players do that because the players who are going to be here and the players who are one for the future, I like that a lot. I think it's time to play the fringe players, see who's ready for next season. As a few feeling most of the squad will be from the under-21. I don't think a lot of the squad will be from the under-21, but I get what you're saying. So next season we need to go get top 2 with QPR. Yeah. But we need to be really mindful about what happens. Like it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. Like, generally, it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out in the summer. Because we haven't got a clue what is happening in the summer. We don't know if managers staying. We don't know if which players have been offered deals yet. Have there been talks of new contract to players? And we don't know that because we're not actually speaking to players at the moment. Players are not being spoken to in the press conference. They're not doing it, which I kind of get. I do understand that. I understand why they're not doing it. They're just leaving it for a while. Yeah, being near playoffs is not fun unless we win yet. Trouble with having nothing to play for is that we don't play at all. I'd like to see something play get run. Yeah, the last couple of games it has felt like some of the players have not been 100% there mentally. It looks like they kind of just struggled a little bit and tapped out a little bit. Kind of thing. So it's interesting. So I hope Sissoko gets a run tomorrow. I do. I would like to see Sissoko get a run. Sorry if I've missed this. Didn't Chancey say he's having a chat with fans, etc. sometime soon? He's had it already. Taz, he had a chat with the engagement panel. So it's a group of the 14 supporter groups in there, and he's had it. We're waiting to see about the minute from it, Taz. Once the minutes are done, we'll sort it. I'd love to see Bruno Fernandes get a game in place of Bad. Maybe it could be future. Maybe. It's all in aligned to context with it makes it a ball. Like I have to make 3 separate meals in the kitchen size of tube. But oh god, that's not fun. That's not fun at all. If I were manager, I would like to still have top tier fight, which would be amazing. I think Bruno would Cotta. No, there's a Bruno Fernandes in our academy, Eddie. No, it mate. And with the EP, any idea on when the minute? No, I don't know when they're going to be released. Let's just bear in mind that with that engagement panel, it was 6 hours long. It was 6 hours. So someone got to put all that down into 6 hours. And I doubt we're going to be using, excuse me, any AI tool to do that. Like, I generally don't think that's going to happen. I think some poor bugger's got to sit there and do the minute for that, and then everyone got to agree with it. And that's the other thing. Everyone has to agree with it. If one person doesn't agree, then you're screwed. So if say, I'm Chansiri, I don't agree with that. It can't go out. You have to have something else. Or say someone else said there's something they don't like. That's the issue. But it's common practice. I won't lie. It's very common practice to have these things. But again, no one's ever given a monkeys about the engagement panel until now. Until there was a thing, it was until the after emergency one. People would see it and be like, oh yeah, the bits and pieces, but nothing really ever got spoke about it. Wow, 6 hours he liked to ramble on. Yes, he does. Takes me a few days to get a 1 to 2 hour meeting minute done. Doubt it's their only task, so we'll take a bit of time. There you go. The chat wasn't another war, was it? There you go. My missus, she works in the field of doing minutes. So if it takes her a few days to do 1 to 2 hour meeting, what's a 6 hour one going to be like? Wasn't another one, was it? No, this is the one that happened Tuesday. So it was on Tuesday. There was the engagement panel. I believe someone said it went from about midday 1 o'clock till about 6:30, 7 o'clock. It was insane. It was absolutely insane. The only team that won't win the playoffs out of the teams. Let me try again. The only team that won't win the playoffs out of them 3 is Leeds. Burnley and Sheffield United will go up. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a dark horse in that playoff situation. I generally do think there's going to be someone who's going to be quite interesting with that one. Depends on the detail and depth too. True. More detailed, the more detailed, the longer it takes. There you go. That's the kind of thing. Feel sorry for the poor bugger who's got to do that. Granted, I know they'll be getting paid and stuff. It's their job, but I can't for the life of me see that as a fun job. I hope Bristol City go up as well. I've got Bristol City and Coventry on my list that I'd like to see do it. It'd be good for both of them. I think Bristol would be the first time they've gone up, and Coventry back in there for a longer time after having what happened the season where they got playoffs and beat by Luton. Like, they could have been Luton this season, but I think they would have been a lot smarter. I think a lot of the money for Luton has gone to the stadium. They may not be getting paid if it's chance to be paying them. Good point. Do you think we'll get an extra point for like? No, because we paid it on time, Bob. 1, 2, 3. We paid. Because we paid it in the time limit that DC had. we've avoided any penalty in that sense. We'll only get a penalty now if it happens again between now and June 30th. If we do it any time between now and June 30th, we're buggered. It won't be a point deduction. It'll be the transfer ban. We'll have the 3-season transfer ban and no point deduction. It's a bit of a crap situation to be talking about and having to be us all the time talking about point deduction or embargoes or whatever, but I haven't seen anything. I haven't read anything. The only team at the minute with a transfer embargo is Oxford United because they paid on something that was late or it wasn't the right amount. 23 people watching, 10 likes. Get those likes up, people. I much appreciate it. And we're very close to 4,500. We are 2 away from that number, which would be absolutely fantastic. It would be brilliant. 24 people. Thank you, Caboodle Fish. But Ian and Andy, by the way. But it's gonna be. I think there's so many people who are already checking out at the season as a whole because they've seen how the players are going. I love you, but I notify you to get on the effing car. Financial refunds and lose. I will lose my ever love. Sorry. I don't have control what the adverts are. They just turn up by Google. But all those adverts are getting very annoying now. Looking forward to tomorrow. Heard it's sell out by both teams. I think it should be good. I think all don't need is a win. If I remember correctly, don't just need a win and they're probably safe this season. What are they on? On 47 points. So yeah, a win. 47, 48, 49. Oh, maybe not. They'll be in that like 1%. So 2 wins and they're safe. It's a good away day, Stoke. I know it's a big if, but if we get taken over, does the possible? Yes and no. It can do. It can be carried over, John, but it can also sometimes they can ask for dispensation. If they can show like the funds there and stuff there, it can be reduced or they can have it taken off. So yeah, I've seen some people saying about Kalen should be on the bench for the last few games. I don't think we should do that. Yeah, maybe next season, yes. This season, no. I don't think he's ready yet. So it'll be interesting. I get why people are saying it. But if you've already got clubs who are looking to take him already, putting him on the bench and then showing him off again even more, it's going to just fill it with even more people to go, all right, we're going to nick him off you. Well, I understand the logic. I do get the logic. Give him some game time showing what he's like, so it'll be interesting. Have you heard anything about concrete-ish takeover like time? Nothing that I can say is concrete. There are 3 parties looking, 2 Americans and 1 British. One I think I know, but the other 2 I don't. But 2 Americans and 1 British consortium who are the ones who are apparently looking at us. Now, I've heard the thing about people with Mike Ashley. Speak to Newcastle fan before you talk about like wanting Mike Ashley. They'll give you some of the horror stories. I wouldn't mind someone in a consortium with Simon Jordan. Ran by ? And can you say who you know? Cannot say anything, mate. Sadly, I wish. The part of me though, I wish I could, but I can't say anything. All I know is it's two Americans and UK, and one of them I have a sneaky fish feeling who I know what it is. But again, anyone who want to do it, they need to get in touch. All this cloak and dagger stuff needs to stop. Some Wednesday fans also like Rangers. There's no hate or common sense. Ooh, Bear in mind, my missus is a Celtic fan. The American love their multi-club ownership. Wonder if it's one of them. Could be Barry, but I think whoever comes in have got to know sport. They have to know sport. You can't have someone who doesn't have anything in the world of sport. It's got to be someone who gets sport or part of a consortium with sport in it. So I don't want to see us ran by people who don't know the industry. Again, I want people who'll be able to do it. I want someone who's actually interested in football and the club. I think that's the thing that we all want. But the problem is, it's no one concretely gone to DC and gone, hey, I'd like to buy the club. Like 9 times out of 10, people, if they're serious about buying a club, they go to DC and say, I'm putting this much money in front of you. Is that enough? Right? And you think maybe, but the thing is, if anything does happen, we'll probably only hear about it when it goes to EFL. I wanted to say EFL sanctions. That's not the right word, is it? What's the word? EFL ratification. So we'll only know about it when it gets to the EFL ratification. And when it gets to that, that normally means it's a long way. That's the word I'm looking for, Taz. That will mean that it's close to damn it and we're nearly done. And I think if we get to that stage, we'll know everything then. But the thing is, that's how it should be, though. It should be EFL get informed, EFL approve, EFL going, we're doing the fit and proper person test, then it take over. That's how it should be. I don't think any of it should be done in the media. Granted, for me, the content creator, it helps. It does help in terms of content creator. How much, in your opinion, do you think the club is worth? I'd say we're probably worth 60, 70 million. I'd say 60, 70 million probably gets you the club if they're sensible in what they're doing. I think that's probably about it. But when you do our valuation, the valuation isn't that easy. Because a valuation for Wednesday includes a stadium buy in as well. Because he's going to sell that separately. He's going to sell the stadium. He's not going to sell it separately, but he's going to put it in as the deal. So it bumps it up a bit. You are effectively paying for potential. Yeah, exactly, Tom. You are. You're paying for potential, and you're paying for the fan base it's got and seeing how much it generates. You get it right, you could make a fair bit of cash on us. Who do you like better, Jamal or Nathaniel? I don't mind either one of them. Jamal, we've seen a little bit more of than Nathaniel. I like to see Nathaniel get more game time, but Nathaniel's done more for me when we've seen him play. Jamal Lowe just doesn't get a chance at a minute. I don't know what it is at strikers this season. It's been very, very difficult to pinpoint how our striker play this year. Give me a minute. To me, a mid-table championship needs a lot of work on and off the pitch and loses a lot of money with debt. I agree. I'd say 60 and 20. Yeah, that's about right, Barry. Yeah, I would say 60 and 25 for the stadium. It's a weird one because you take that stadium out of the equation, you're saying it's 60 million done, and that's enough to get everything sorted. But it's harder when you know you've got the stadium. Chancellor will definitely sell the stadium separately, knowing his stubbornness. It will be interesting. It will be interesting because the thing is, even if he kept the stadium and he just rented it from us, we rent the stadium to him. The issue you've got is he can't do anything with the stadium anyway. It got a protective order on. So he can't do anything anyway. Can't compare two different positions. I was pitching. If I were pitching the sale, I'd be showing the Wembley playoff, etc. Saying, imagine if we can get. The thing is, that's how you pitch it, Tom. That is 100% how you pitch it. And the thing is, I still don't get how we didn't have anything at the end of the transfer window. Not end of transfer window. What am I about? End of that playoff run where we went up with more people like for sponsorships. All forgotten to shoot, but there you go. Puncture, that's about sums up. Yep. Better to buy a championship team than a National League one in the hopes you can do Wrexham. If it for my manager car, pick one. Please. It for my manager. Had to pick one. Nathan. The rent at the price is not stable. No, it's not. What's the current deal with the stadium? I had it in my brain that we were slowly buying it back year by year rather than purely renting it. That was what had been said we were meant to be doing, but I haven't seen anything to say otherwise. We currently rent it from DC, and DC get 2.75 million. There's no positive. There's no positively bridge to their own go. The end of the playoff got Darren Moore. You're out there owning another can of worms with no. Yeah, true. Go if you're doing a career mode, go with Chalobah. Please on the stadium, what can and can't be done. So on the stadium, it got a protective order. So basically, it can't be built on. It got to be used in the community, and be used for sport. Basically, so basically, say if DC kept the stadium, Jimmy, and he said, I want to keep the stadium, I'm going to build flats on it. He can't. There's something there. There's nothing he can do with it. Let me find it. I remember the order that got put on it. Let's have a look. No, it's a. Hang on. That's a status. Look. Hillsborough Stadium. Protected. Hillsborough Stadium is protected as an asset to the community by Sheffield City Council. There you go. So it basically means it's been granted that this data protected from being demolished or having its uses slightly changed without public interest consideration. So that's basically it. You can't do it with it. My team. Okay, my team. Would you be in favour of a new ground altogether? Oh, I go different ways with that one, Tom. The part of me that says yes, the part of me that says no. I'd rather keep our stadium if we could, and then redevelop Leppin Lane completely. All they could do with the stadium, make it a new training ground. They can. Yeah, that's basically it, Run Pump Man. That is exactly all they can do. Have a good Easter, John. If you're about tomorrow, there'll be a live stream of the game. Watch along. So it's all they can do about it. So it does help us. It stops it from being used for something else. I'd like to see the facility renovating might be actually more stable in the long run. Just to do a new build. Yep. I get that. The thing, we know our stadium needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of work, but is it going to get done overnight? That's a good question. Where do you build a new stadium? Where is there land to build a new stadium? and with the infrastructure where it's not just like in the middle of nowhere, a bowl in like an industrial state. So where do you build it? If it is possible and safe to do so, I've redeveloped Hill while still playing there. Yep, I agree. I don't want to leave Hill. Don't want to leave Hilfer, but if we did make a new stadium, where would it have it be, or just not down? Because I think if you redid it, you would have to see what will happen. The future these days are having multi-purpose stadiums that can host non-football events for revenue. That's the way you do it. That is like the way to properly do it. And it needs to be done in a good way. Not a bad team, that actually, Kaylee. But it gotta make sure it got the good transfer. It could have good transport links. It could have the right thing. I love a new ground, but keeps on the heritage feature. The clock would need council and government and transfer route. New stadium anywhere, but next to a river. Yeah. Yeah, a river isn't ideal, really, is it? When we've had the flooding situation happen with us. It's not been the best, this idea. The thing is, they could easily just build it up. We will just have to move to Sheffield Arena. Yeah, it's in a good transfer link. I think when they missed the thing with the idea of buying the bowl, Dearne Valley Bowl and stuff, and not having that as like a training facility, that was a really good idea. Maybe swap the dog tracks and build a new stadium there. That's not a bad shout, Mark. That ain't a bad shout at all. That's something you could do. I agree with transfer links like Coventry and Reading can take ages to leave. Yep. It need to make sure that the transfer that's not a bad shout at all, Mark. Agree. And my brand Dominic and my bench. Sorry. Dominic, EK, Callum, Armstrong, James, Rio. That's not bad. Not bad at all. But yeah, that could work. I think the thing you got with Hillsborough, I do like the idea that I got that kind of old school feeling where it's in and around it. Do you think if we with the group to buy, do you think if we're in line with the group to buy, do you think will he stay if they back him? Maybe we would have to see. We'd have to see, Jake. I don't know. I like to have a training ground and stadium. Thing is, the way you do that, Tom, is if you would have to buy, like, say, Hillsborough Park and then do it that way if you did it that way. I'd like to own our own training ground. Because we don't own it. We rent it. Eden Sharman, how you doing? I'm not too bad. I don't like it, Eddie. I think it's going to cause a nightmare for match day traffic. I think it's dumb. The thing is, that ground across there, we could have used that. We could have used that ground for training facilities or whatever. We could have used that ground, and we didn't. And it's always been a bugbear of mine. No, I think they got planning. I think they got planning permission now, Tom. I believe they got planning permission for it now. I think it all went through on the nod. Yeah, it could be an absolute car crash. What do you think the score will be for Wednesday? I want a 1-0 and get out of Dodge. But it won't be that because, it won't be that because of Wednesday being Wednesday. It won't happen, yeah. Oh, let me just check something. Big area as well. The big area we could have used. But anyhow, it's what it is. It's decent. It's a good lineup. Rather than go probably win now. You've got Hampshire. in charge. Good fun, mate. Been super busy with work. No worries, mate. I hope you're doing well. To get out of the Dogs or Hill Bucolic car park is already an hour. It's gonna be mad. Yeah, I've been out of the Hill Dogs before. It's not fun at all. If we were to build a new one, what would you say the capacity should be? I'd say go with 50 and then add to it if you can. That's what I'd say. You go with 50 and then you add to it. Why didn't we make a new car park? And no idea. No idea. Open shops across Fontaine is stupid. I think it's stupid full stop in that, but that capitalism, it's more money in it. When you get people who are going to build, they're going to build. I'm in a situation where I live. They're going to build. They're going to build. Money talks. At the end of the day, money talks and everything. We all know how that saying finishes. So it is what it is. We had the opportunity to take it, and when you don't take the opportunity, you lose out. And that generally basically how it's been for us. I think 30, 35, but make sure they're planning for short, and then we'll promote it up to 50. Not a bad shout. No, it's interesting because when there was a bit, I think it was the end of the 2017 season. DC did a what was it? It was a questionnaire, and everyone did a questionnaire, and it was like, do you want players or do you want infrastructure? And a lot of it was players. A lot of it went players. But why are you asking the fans that? Surely you should be going into it and going, no, we need to infrastructure and do this. And then we get neither. Yeah, exactly. Then we get neither. And I think it was one of the things you were looking at it to do that. And it's one of those things where I was very much in that kind of thing going, that's not something you ask. That's something you just do. You have to, because he got no other sounding, but true. So okay, just don't do it again. You're normally very respectful. But I get the urge at time to do that. Other fan group, but just a lot of respectful. I'm not bothered. But yeah, you gotta. It's that whole thing. I always worry about it because an owner shouldn't be asking those questions to the fan. That's something he should be asking people in and around him. Core fan wanted to play it. Yeah, you knew what was gonna get said. You knew what was gonna get said immediately. Like, you knew it was immediately gonna be, oh yeah, it's going to be players, of course. No one wants to think about the infrastructure because fans don't think that way. I think they do now. I think modern day football fans are a little bit more like that. I think you look at what Birmingham are doing, and John Merrill has got some really good insight. They do think about that. Why weren't we just balancing both, meaning a good short term? You said things here like term and long term. Plans are not something we do. We don't plan. The plan when DC bought it was to get up to Prem by 2017. That was the plan. I have no idea what the lineup will be. It'll change. It'll change a lot, to be fair. But yeah, it's very what the fact too, the players who came on high wage and long contract didn't help it now. And the thing is, some of those players we could have quite easily shifted on. We could have shifted them on, and we had offers for certain players, and we didn't sell them. We never sold them because he refused to lose even a little bit of money on it. And I think one of the things, if you look at how we run, we don't make profit in sales. And that's one of the big things in football is profits in sales. And we don't. Like, this week we've been looking at all the academy players getting new contracts. And I'm like, brilliant, fantastic. But in my brain, I'm like, are any of them actually going to see it? Yeah, it's insane seeing in that. Are we picking apart all the... We're not picking apart all the chairman mistakes. Well, I'll be here for about another 4 days. But I think it's that whole thing. You've got to look at it as we've made mistakes, but it seems like we're not making any improvement in those mistakes. The time where you think he's doing better and then he goes and does something. Even though it was a free job balls on 40 grand for disaster, plus many more. Only 7 years too late to get to the Prem, and in time for we got relegated to League One and came back. True. Has Danny been getting pelters for bringing youth players, or are we being... We're being quite positive toward the development. We are being quite positive with it, but I think he's being wary about what he can do. Like, you look at the academy in the general. Like, Sam Reeve's mum came out and said that we offered him to lower league clubs, and he wanted 1.5 times more in wages. When Chansiri said he wanted to get to Pembrokeshire, maybe he meant 250 at the nursery. But I think the way everything penny pinching, and he's a businessman, and that's what does happen. But I think there's just things where you look at it, you go, surely that makes more sense. Like, Danny came out with a line today, right? Danny came out with a line today which got me, was you sell your youth team players and then you just reinvest that money. You sell the youngster while they're at a point where it is and you reinvest it. We've never had that. It's always stay here. And I thought it was very poignant when he said it. Just not very good at that commercially. Commercially we're poor. I think it's good to see. I hope it keeps happening, particularly for Charles and McNeil. Same. If we can get Charles and McNeil starting regularly, it'd be good. I think Charles is number 1 next season. McNeil taking a while to get into the swing of things. Mainly because we changed his position. His position before he came to was a striker, and now he plays more as a 10, which I kind of like a lot more. Have a good Easter, Kaylee. I hope you have a good one. Good luck for the weekend. We've not produced good youth play for a long time. To be fair, we seem to be doing that a lot more under Chansiri. What do you mean, producing good youth team players under Chansiri? We are producing them, but then they're not getting the opportunity to be in the first team. We produce them and then they bugger off elsewhere. There's no real clear path to it. There's no real clear path because by the time they get a chance, they're either deemed not good enough and out the door. Like, we're in that situation where we're in a good period where there's a decent lot of youth coming through. And we seem to be getting the net young crop looking good. But it's about getting that young crop ready to go and ready to be in with a shot. You look at the Cadamarchi, brilliant. You look at Charles not coming completely through our thing. Bye, Kaylee. Have a good one. Good night. But you also look at some of the other ones. By the time they get a chance, they'll have a year left on the deals. Another club would. That's my issue. That's my issue, Barry. See. When it's like you look at Gassama, you want to put a new deal in front of Gassama. 100% get a new deal because he got a year left. Gassama's a classic example. He got a year left. There's a year left on his contract going into it, so he needs to do it. We always had a few decent young players, but we developed them poorly, like Alex Hunt. True. The one that pissed me off the most are Penny, Hurt, and Oz. To be fair to Uragidi, he left. He wanted to go. And I don't think they could stop him. Hurt was a toxic environment. I don't think having the name hurt help with Wednesday and then trying to get things through the door. I think some of the things that happened there did happen, and you actually, when you see him talk about Wednesday Hurt Jr., he don't say much. Like the Liam Shaw, who only got to play when they had a year left. Yeah. It's shot dooring them then. Well, look at Fizz. Fizz, classic example. Again, Fizz, it was the same with Fizz. Fizz is now someone who's playing week in, week out in Italy. He played European football. He's looking fantastic. There was a player in Fizz, and we should have signed another deal in front of him early doors and let him go. But again, it's about managing them. And we'll put the contract in front of them, and it'll probably be, I can get X amount elsewhere. I'm off. Kind of thing. And sometimes you don't want to overpay for a player, but Fizz right now is what will be needed in our midfield to run this midfield. The midfield, we've got 3 guys who are 13 players at the moment. Can't remember the last time that was the case. Baylor, Fusey probably will be. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that definitely. Sean Fusey definitely will be one of them. Delafioso would have been a ball under Danny. Imagine him and Charles. Yep. Pierce not nailed on number 1 next season. I think he is, Alex. I think Pierce is nailed on for number 1 next season. You don't start playing him now. You do not start playing him right now, ready for next season. I think he's your number 1 next season. We can have a agree to disagree. Southampton probably don't need a keeper. It's Southampton coming in for him if Danny's there. They have no number 1 keeper in the summer. They'll need a keeper, but I don't think you put all your money on Pierre Charles. I think they'll go for someone else. Moore just didn't fancy. Yeah, there was something weird with Moore and Fizz. It was odd. I don't know if there was some sort of thing there in between contract stuff. It was weird. When they did a video of Windass watching. Yeah, I remember. He said how much of a joke Deli Vashiru was that season, how good he was. Even just not having the money to attain good loans like McGuinness would have been our captain soon. I think Ramsdale will lead Tate, and they'll give it. And then Gavin and yeah. Do you think Armstrong will be Chalobah's replacement and we'll let him go due to? I think so. I'll be honest with you, I think Armstrong's less a Chalobah's replacement and more of Barry Bannon's. Not in sense of replacement, but more Bannon becoming the player that comes more off the bench than to play it that way. I could be wrong, but Delivery probably thought it was better than everyone, and maybe that's why Moore didn't like him. I think there was a lot of things to do with contracts, Eddie. We put a deal in front of him quite early doors. Like I'm saying, we put a deal in front of his face October, November time. It was October, November time when we put a deal in front of him, and he said no. He turned it down. Midfield for Chalobah, Bazan sounds awesome. It does sound good. It does sound really good. Speaking to Southampton fans, it sounds like they're going after Sam Johnson. That's a good move. Sam Johnson's a very, very reliable keeper at this league. That's a very good move. Give you that. It just gives you that bit of clarity, doesn't it? It gives you that bit of thing. You've got to keep them fit. Yeah, that's the thing. You keep them fit, it's fantastic. We'll still be looking, but we'll see. But on that note, there's going to be a live stream tomorrow. It's going to be a watch along tomorrow. So join us for the watch along. It'll start at about 2:50, 3 o'clock time when the match is on, obviously. So there'll be a watch along. There'll be a review. There might be a video mid-morning. I ain't decided yet. I need to see what's said. But yeah, watch along tomorrow, review, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. I'm going to go chill and have a good rest of my evening. I'm probably going to play Call of Duty because I'm a sad act. But yeah. But I will speak to you later. Have a good one, guys.